Hey guys, a bit of a mix up this video, so just before we start, please make sure you like, share and subscribe to The Young Cynics. On to the video. Have you had a stable career, good job, people you like, but then one day you made a mistake? A sizable one, however, people forgot because you were known to have the occasional slip up. But then a few months later, you hyped up your next project. People were skeptical but still checked it out, but somehow it was even more of a failure than the last effort. And then as the end of the year came, you planned something to get your reputation back. Something that could appeal to everyone. Something family friendly that people of all ages could enjoy. But instead, people realized that this whole thing was a ploy for your friend's child to get famous. But then when they decided they didn't want any of it, they fed some kid to the wolves instead, while your career went down in flames. Has this ever happened to you? No? Well, unfortunately, that happened to a person. Beautiful, talented actress, Cameron Diaz. At just 21, she had a massive breakout performance in 1994's The Mask, a role like this in a massive movie with Jim Carrey, and from there her stardom rose through movies like She's the One, My Best Friend's Wedding, and the massively popular There's Something About Mary. Everything was going right for her. Then Being John Malkovich, Charlie's Angels, and even Shrek. She was on a tear through Hollywood and was one of the hottest actresses going around through the 90s and early 2000s. And whenever it looked like she might have been slipping out of the spotlight, look, a lot of these movies aren't good, but most of them did pretty well, and she was a massive star. But then, almost if placed a curse upon by greater powers, had one of the single worst run of movies of any actor ever. All in 1 year. Sure, Nick Cage and John Travolta have had bad years, but they were always hidden until everyone discovered that it had been dumped to Netflix or something. But these, oh my god. 3 movies that she has never recovered from. It has been 6 years since her Year from Hell. In the 6 previous, she was in 16 projects, whereas in the 6 years since 2014, you know how much she did? Zip. Nada. Nothing. When looking at the best years for an actor in terms of what they did, you look at De Niro in 95, Marlon Brando in 1972, Jennifer Lawrence in 2012, in 1995, or Tom Hanks every year, but I mean, it's hard to go past a worse year for a single actor than this. I mean, 2016 was a bad year in general. It was notorious for taking celebrity after celebrity from us, starting with David Bowie, then Prince, Muhammad Ali, Anton Yelchin, Gene Wilder, Leonard Cohen, George Michael, and a bunch of others. And then as if it hadn't taken enough from us, it punt-kicked us in the nuts and took Carrie Fisher as well. But in 2014, Hollywood seemed dead set on 2 things: running poor Cameron's career into the ground, and starting a nuclear war with North Korea. And it's surprising that the prospect of war with North Korea returned earlier than her career did. But what was actually the cause of all this? Today let's try and unravel the chain reaction that killed Cameron Diaz's career.
On a Sunday, kind of love.
The other woman is terrible, but why? Well, the plot is that Jaime Lannister cheats on 3 different women who all unite and get some revenge on him. You know, pretty simple premise, but one that doesn't have to be a complete shit show. Cameron Diaz gets stuck with the most uppity, unlikable character and is just there doing things in the start of the movie, and then Leslie Mann joins in. The worst part of the movie is how hard they are trying to be funny. There are so many scenes where they pointed a camera at Leslie Mann and said, "You've worked on all these big projects before. Improv, please."
So that it wouldn't die. Otherwise, his brain would have literally his head would have exploded. Mm-hmm. Like it would, because the skull was holding his brain, which was swelling, and his head would have just exploded.
Well, what the fuck you on about?
But there is not one funny moment in the entire film. All of the comedy is either long, incoherent rants, stupid body comedy, and three separate poop jokes.
No.
Are you okay? Actually, no. We should get out of here now.
Really?
Please.
Yeah. Like you pooped your pants?
Yes, Kate. Exactly like that.
And whenever there is a concept that could be somewhat not horseshit, they run it into the fucking ground. Like Mike Amodi has the 6 laugh test. This got a whopping 0 from me. Not one instant even brought a smile to my face. They play the Mission Impossible music when they're driving after him because they're incognito. They just spend 2 minutes literally on this one gag. There is nothing to it. It's just they are following him in disguise. It's like Mission Impossible. Laugh, guys. At least in Shrek, when they did this, they had this killer gag.
Say something crazy like I'm wearing ladies' underwear. I'm wearing ladies' underwear.
Are you?
I most certainly am not.
Leslie Mann has a brother and it's so obvious right from the minute he's on screen what's going to happen. So look, I'm aware I'm not the target audience for this, but I'm imagining a group of middle-aged women on their girls' night watching this and this stupid scene where she pops laxatives in his drink. Are they going to be laughing and cheering and saying, take that? Fuck no.
Baby, this is Dana.
What? No.
Hey guys, that's pretty transphobic. The worst bit about this whole thing is that they spend so much time on stupid annoying improv, and then they just drop about 5 tons of crap disguised as exposition on your head to make you feel as if the movie has actually been building towards some sort of plot, but you can obviously tell this is all bullshit.
This is a list of all of the startup companies that Mark has invested in. 3 are offshore, but only one board of directors. This has Kate.
No, that can't be right. Mark was talking.
All we have to do is find out the bank and making money.
It's not so much that it's bad as it's hurting America.
There's a laughable girl power scene where they just stand on a beach, and then Jamie embarrasses himself horribly. This movie is so bad, but it could be easily fixed with one saving grace. And you know what that is? It's something that's happened in Cameron Diaz's career before. Jim Carrey. If he was the guy, then this whole stupid slapstick thing might actually work. The movie has the dumbest epilogue where it gives a brief rundown of what happened to them after the movie, like the end of Anchorman, but you know, not funny. So next is Sex Tape. Now, Sony, of course, spent a shit ton of money advertising this garbage. Like, I even remember our school buses rocking up with her and Jason Segel trying so hard to mask their embarrassing failure. Like, how could anyone approve this? It starts off with this juvenile 13-year-old boner comedy. So basically, get used to it, because there's 90 minutes of this, guys. Much like The Other Woman, this movie is trying really hard to be funny with all the stupid improv. So basically, Cameron Diaz and Jason Segel make a sex tape and go on admission to find and delete every copy of it. The dumb part of this is that they do something and then at the end it just says, oh, you could have just deleted it through the cloud. Or Jack Black says, you could have just emailed me. The whole thing is a dumb prank on the audience. There's this excruciatingly long scene where Jason Segel fights a dog that looks faker than the one from Anchorman. There's this one opportunity to do a joke that would have been eye-rolling, but somehow what we got was worse than that.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
It's going for the obvious reference to Jurassic Park, but then they just do this lazy line. But the whole movie is just basically a hit piece on Apple by Sony, saying don't buy iPads or they'll turn on you, unlike Sony products. Like, look how bad Siri is.
Siri, how do you perform CPR on a dog?
I found 4 places named Starbucks.
It's fear-mongering the audience into looking for alternates. The only bit I laughed was seeing Artemis from It's Always Sunny and Kumail Nanjiani as a couple, and the weird bits where Jason Segel is talking to the camera.
Flankettes.
Flankettes!
It's just once again a movie full of talking and noises and terrible slapstick scenes thrown in. I can just imagine the silent theater watching this. A sad old couple out on date night, 3 giggling 15-year-olds only there because the movie had sex in the title, and a weird creepy guy in the back trying to get a chub. Also, it should be noted how Jason Segel's career has also halted, as he's only worked on 6 projects in the last 6 years following this abysmal failure. Next. This was the hardest one to sit through. At least the others were only an hour and a half long. But this was 2 hours of torture. So the story is that Will Smith wanted his daughter Willow to be Annie, and yeah, this was that period where Will Smith kept pushing on us his belief that his kids were going to be the most talented specimens on the planet, like After Earth, but instead they got
quabity-ashwants.
The movie is presented as this grand, big modern musical, but I don't recall seeing a musical with this little visual style. Take movies like La La Land, which along with the music had incredible cinematography and massive beautiful set pieces. This is just people walking in rooms singing while having terribly choreographed body spasms. The movie is a drudge. Everyone's singing has that auto-tune turned up to a 12. Cameron Diaz is so ridiculously over the top here. I get what she's going for, but it fails horribly. Why the hell wasn't this animated? That would be such an easy slam dunk. But because it's Sony, they managed to fuck it up like only they know how. Also, Jamie Foxx had a terrible year. This and The Amazing Spider-Man 2? Jesus Christ, Sony. But since then, Cameron Diaz called it quits. Has not been in a single project since 2014. Which really sucks. This isn't a hit piece on it. It's just showing how terrible movies and an idiotic studio can ruin someone's career. So that was a mini documentary on how 1 year ended the career of someone who's a decent actor and how 3 of the worst fucking movies I've ever seen killed it. So thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this different type of video. Let me know if there are any other actors whose careers were killed by movies who you'd like me to delve into a bit more. And until next time, bye!